For decades, a Newport Beach mansion hid John Wayne's biggest secrets. After he died in 1979, the house was sealed, with photos, letters, and personal belongings locked away for more than 30 years. When the doors finally opened in 2011, what was found inside shocked everyone. From priceless movie memorabilia to a surprising will that sparked family conflict, this is what really happened to the Duke's fortune. John Wayne was born Marion Robert Morrison on the 26th of May 1907 in Winterset, Iowa. At birth, he weighed an incredible 13 pounds, and it was so rare that the local newspaper reported it. By age 3, he nearly lost his life after falling into an icy creek, but a stranger pulled him to safety. That close call became an early sign of the toughness that followed him for years. His name also changed when his younger brother was born, with his middle name switching from Robert to Mitchell. In 1914, the family moved to Glendale, California, after his father's business failed. There, Marion earned the nickname Duke because he was always with his Airedale Terrier, also named Duke. Firefighters called them Big Duke and Little Duke, and the nickname stayed. Marion loved football and earned a scholarship to the University of Southern California in 1925, where he studied pre-law and joined Sigma Chi. But a shoulder injury during a body surfing accident ended his football career. That setback changed everything. In 1927, he started working at Fox Studios as a prop man, making $35 a week. It wasn't a dream job, but it opened the door to Hollywood. His first screen appearance came as an uncredited football player in the 1926 film Brown of Harvard. During this time, Marion became friends with director John Ford. Ford believed he had real potential and even suggested he use a stronger stage name. After looking at different choices, they settled on John Wayne, a name that would soon become famous. Wayne's early career was anything but easy. Between 1930 and 1939, he appeared in more than 80 low-budget westerns, sometimes shooting an entire movie in only 2 days. Money was so tight that he often survived on just one meal a day, a can of beans warmed on a hot plate. By 1938, he was so frustrated that he seriously considered walking away from acting. Everything changed with Stagecoach in 1939. The studio wanted a bigger star, including actors like Gary Cooper, but John Ford refused to back down. He insisted on Wayne and even threatened to leave the project if the studio said no. Wayne played the Ringo Kid, and his dramatic first appearance became one of Hollywood's most famous scenes. Even though it lasts only seconds, it took 27 takes because he was so nervous. Stagecoach became a huge success, earning 7 Academy Award nominations and winning 2. Wayne's performance turned him into a star almost overnight, even though he earned only $3,700 for the role. From that point on, audiences saw him as the face of the classic Western hero. Wayne later passed on films like The Maltese Falcon and High Noon because he wanted to protect that image. Over the next 5 decades, he and John Ford made 14 movies together. Their partnership shaped Hollywood, even though Ford's demanding style often pushed Wayne to his limits. On the set of The Searchers in 1956, John Ford made Wayne repeat a simple scene of picking up a gun 17 times in front of the entire crew, leaving him embarrassed. Wayne never pushed back because he believed Ford's tough approach brought out his strongest performances. Even though The Searchers received little awards attention at the time, it's now widely viewed as one of the greatest films ever made. Their final movie together, Donovan's Reef in 1963, almost never happened. Wayne felt he might be too old for the role, while Ford struggled with poor health and alcoholism. Wayne encouraged him to direct anyway. Filming in Hawaii was exhausting, with temperatures climbing close to 100 degrees. Ford became so ill with shingles that he directed parts of the movie while lying on a stretcher. Despite every obstacle, they finished the film, and it performed well. Unlike their famous westerns, this lighter comedy showed they could succeed in a completely different style. Wayne earned his first Oscar nomination for Sands of Iwo Jima in 1949, playing Sergeant John Stryker. At first, he wasn't interested because the role felt too familiar. Republic Pictures president Herbert Yates eventually convinced him by offering $250,000 plus a share of the profits, an impressive deal for that time. Production was demanding. Director Alan Dwan wanted the combat scenes to look as realistic as possible, using real flamethrowers and explosives. The dangerous filming led to several injuries, and one explosion reportedly knocked Wayne unconscious for about 30 minutes, forcing production to pause for 2 days. The film also featured authentic Battle of Iwo Jima footage provided by the U.S. Marine Corps. The real combat scenes blended so smoothly with the staged footage that many viewers believed everything was filmed during the battle. One memorable moment even used the original flag from Mount Suribachi, and 3 surviving Marines from the historic flag raising appeared in the movie. Despite the success of Sands of Iwo Jima and Wayne's praised performance, he lost the Oscar to Broderick Crawford for All the King's Men. The twist? Wayne had turned down that starring role because he believed it didn't match his values. The loss hit him hard, and he wouldn't receive another Oscar nomination for 11 years. Wayne's biggest passion project was the Alamo in 1960. He had spent more than 15 years trying to bring it to life and even mortgaged his house, cars, and boat to help finance it. With a $12 million budget, the film became one of Hollywood's biggest gambles. Wayne ordered a full-size Alamo replica to be built in Texas using more than 1.5 million adobe bricks, with remarkable attention to historical detail. The impressive set later became a popular tourist attraction. Filming was a huge operation. More than 7,000 extras, 1,500 horses, and 79 days of shooting in temperatures reaching 110 degrees created constant challenges. Accidents happened, including one extra who suffered a bayonet injury and needed 26 stitches. Even with the setbacks, Wayne refused to lower his standards. When the Alamo premiered, it featured a parade and fireworks. The film earned 7 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, but mixed reviews and disappointing ticket sales kept it from recovering its massive budget. Wayne also missed out on a Best Director nomination, something that deeply disappointed him. In 1970, Wayne finally won his first Oscar for True Grit, playing the tough, one-eyed U.S. Marshal Rooster Cogburn. He nearly passed on the role because he felt he was getting too old and was still recovering from lung cancer surgery. But after reading the novel, Wayne realized True Grit could become the defining role of his career. Filming in Colorado wasn't easy. The freezing weather and high altitude were hard on his health, and he often needed an oxygen tank between scenes. During one tense moment, his horse stumbled on a steep hill, and Wayne narrowly avoided a serious fall. He also tore a shoulder muscle but refused to stop filming. To become Rooster Cogburn, Wayne gained weight and wore an eye patch that limited his vision. He memorized the sets so he could move around without running into anything. The performance stood out from his earlier roles, and audiences embraced it. The film earned more than $31 million, making it one of the biggest successes of his career. When Wayne accepted his Oscar, he joked, "If I'd known this, I'd have put that patch on 35 years earlier." Even though he had the flu that night, he wasn't going to miss the ceremony. Some critics believe the award recognized his decades in Hollywood as much as his performance, and Wayne later admitted it felt that way too. Still, Rooster Cogburn became one of his most unforgettable characters. Wayne's personal life was far more complicated than his movie career. He married Josephine Saenz in 1933, just as his Hollywood career was beginning to grow. They had 4 children together, but long filming schedules kept him away from home for extended periods. Their marriage faced additional strain after Wayne began a relationship with actress Marlene Dietrich in 1938. He later tried to repair the marriage, including taking Josephine to Mexico in 1943, but they divorced in 1945. His second marriage, to former actress Esperanza Bauer in 1946, was filled with conflict. Esperanza often suspected Wayne was becoming too close to co-star Gail Russell while filming Angel and the Badman in 1947. Those suspicions led to frequent arguments, reaching a breaking point after Wayne returned home late from a party one night. An argument between Wayne and Esperanza turned frightening. Reports say she was intoxicated, grabbed a gun, and confronted him as he came home. Fortunately, no one was injured, but the marriage never recovered. The couple divorced in 1954. That same year, Wayne married Pilar Paulette. They had 3 children together, and for a time, their relationship appeared more stable. By 1973, however, they had separated. Wayne later lived with his secretary, Pat Stacey, although he and Pilar never officially divorced before his death in 1979. Wayne's relationship with Marlene Dietrich was one of Hollywood's worst-kept secrets. It began while they worked on Seven Sinners in 1938 and continued for nearly a decade. During that period, Wayne was still married to Josephine. The two exchanged heartfelt letters, and Dietrich also supported Wayne's career by encouraging producers to cast him in leading roles, including The Spoilers and Pittsburgh in 1942. Although their romance ended in 1947, they remained close friends for many years. Dietrich reportedly described Wayne as the love of her life. Another important relationship in Wayne's life was his longtime friendship with Maureen O'Hara. They appeared together in 5 films, beginning with Rio Grande in 1950, while The Quiet Man became their most celebrated collaboration. Their on-screen chemistry was so convincing that many fans believed they were a real couple. O'Hara even joked that strangers often assumed she was Wayne's wife, and Wayne's children affectionately called her Auntie Maureen. Years later, O'Hara's grandson shared that Wayne and O'Hara had briefly been romantically involved, though he believed their strong personalities made a lasting relationship unlikely. Even so, O'Hara remained one of Wayne's loyal friends. During Wayne's final battle with cancer, she supported efforts to secure a congressional honor recognizing his lasting legacy. In his final years, Wayne also found companionship with Pat Stacey. After separating from Pilar, Wayne began sharing his life with his secretary, Pat Stacey. Although she was 34 years younger, the two formed a close bond. Pat became both his partner and caregiver, standing beside him through medical treatments and helping manage his daily life. They lived together from 1973 until Wayne's death in 1979. In 1983, Pat published Duke, a love story, giving readers a personal look at Wayne away from the cameras. The book revealed a gentler side that many fans had never seen. She never remarried and continued honoring Wayne's memory until her death in 1995. In 1964, at age 57, Wayne learned he had lung cancer. While the diagnosis was devastating, his longtime habit of smoking up to 6 packs of cigarettes a day had raised serious health concerns. Doctors performed a major operation, removing his left lung and 2 ribs. The procedure carried significant risks, but Wayne survived and remained cancer-free for several years. Instead of hiding his illness, Wayne spoke openly about it. Some advisors worried the news would damage his career, but he wanted to encourage people to take cancer seriously and get regular checkups. He even referred to cancer as the Big C, hoping the nickname would make conversations about the disease a little less frightening. A year after surgery, Wayne appeared in a television commercial for the American Cancer Society, urging people to support research. Years later, in 1979, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. He tried an experimental vaccine, but his condition continued to decline. Even while seriously ill, Wayne kept advocating for cancer research. From his hospital room, he recorded messages asking for greater support. Just weeks before his death, he said, "They might find a cure for cancer without your help, but I wouldn't bet my life on it." His final film was The Shootist in 1976, closing the career of one of Hollywood's biggest stars. The Shootist told the story of an aging gunfighter facing cancer, making it feel remarkably close to John Wayne's own life. At 68, Wayne's health was declining, and he often relied on oxygen between scenes. Even so, he insisted on performing his own stunts. One demanding scene required him to fall onto a hard floor several times, and he pushed through without complaining. Wayne also changed an important part of the story. In the original ending, his character was shot in the back. He refused, saying, "I've never shot a man in the back in any movie. Change it." The film earned $13.4 million and became a fitting farewell, reflecting the tough screen image he had built over decades. John Wayne died on the 11th of June, 1979, at age 72 after battling stomach cancer. He passed away at UCLA Medical Center, and news of his death deeply affected Hollywood and countless fans. President Jimmy Carter described him as larger than life and a true American hero. Thousands of people gathered outside the hospital and his home, leaving flowers, handwritten notes, and cowboy hats in tribute. His star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame quickly became a place where fans gathered to honor his memory. Although his funeral was private, a public memorial was later broadcast on television, allowing millions to pay their respects. The U.S. Naval Academy also made Wayne an honorary member of its class of 1,979, recognizing his cultural impact. Wayne's legacy continued to grow after his passing. Orange County Airport was renamed John Wayne Airport, and in 1985, his family established the John Wayne Cancer Foundation to continue supporting cancer awareness and research. The foundation later helped launch the John Wayne Cancer Institute, which contributed to advances in cancer detection and treatment that have benefited many patients. At the time of his death, Wayne's estate was valued at about $6.85 million in 1979, equal to roughly $25 million today. Considering his legendary career and worldwide fame, many people were surprised the total wasn't even higher. Many people expected John Wayne's fortune to be far larger because he had been one of Hollywood's highest-paid stars. The smaller estate led to plenty of speculation. Some believed he spent generously during his lifetime, while others pointed out that not all of his assets were included. Shortly before his death, Wayne sold his beloved yacht, Wild Goose, for $750,000, adding even more curiosity about his overall wealth. Originally a World War II minesweeper, the Wild Goose was much more than a boat to Wayne. It was one of his favorite possessions and played a big role in his private life. Its sale left many people wondering how much of his fortune remained outside his estate. Wayne also invested heavily in real estate. In 1965, he bought a waterfront home in Newport Beach, overlooking Balboa Island, where he lived until his death in 1979. From the outside, the house looked fairly modest, but inside it was spacious and luxurious. It sold for $5.5 million in 1980, an impressive price for that time. Before moving to Newport Beach, Wayne owned a 5-acre ranch in Encino and also had properties in Arizona and Washington. He once joked that buying in Newport Beach early had been one of his smartest decisions, because later he sure as hell couldn't afford it. When Wayne's will became public after his death, it surprised many people. One of the biggest talking points was that his third wife, Pilar Palate, was not left a major share of his estate. Although they had remained legally married after separating in 1973, Wayne directed most of his estate to his 7 children from his first 2 marriages. Wayne's estate plan sparked years of speculation, especially over why his third wife, Pilar Palate, received so little. The family disputes didn't end there. In 2010, Wayne's daughter Aissa filed a lawsuit involving her brother Ethan and John Wayne Enterprises over her share of the family business. Personal belongings and movie memorabilia also became sources of disagreement, adding even more tension within the family. In 2011, fans finally got a rare look inside John Wayne's private world. More than 700 items from his life and career were auctioned on October 6 and 7 at the Hyatt Century Plaza in Los Angeles. Many of these belongings had remained packed away since Wayne's death in 1979, making the event feel like opening a time capsule after more than 3 decades. Collectors found everything from movie costumes and famous props to awards and furniture from Wayne's home. His personal scripts offered a fascinating look at his work habits. The script for The Horse Soldiers had folded pages marking completed scenes, while others, including Wednesday Morning, were kept in excellent condition, showing how carefully he organized his work. The auction also featured books, clothing, his final driver's license, and the colorful neckerchiefs he was known for wearing. One collection of those neckerchiefs sold for $10,755. Some pieces attracted even bigger bids, including Wayne's Green Beret from the Green Berets 1968, which sold for an incredible $179,250 and set a record for a costume hat. Fans eagerly chased items connected to John Wayne's most memorable films. One of the biggest sellers was his cowboy hat, worn in movies including Big Jake and the Cowboys. It sold for an impressive $119,500. Wayne's Golden Globe for True Grit also drew major attention, bringing in $143,400 because it was linked to the role that earned him his only Oscar. Even everyday belongings attracted incredible bids. Wayne's final driver's license sold for $89,625, setting a record for an item of its kind. His famous eye patch from True Grit brought in $47,800, while clothing from films like The Alamo and shirts he wore in multiple productions sold for thousands more. For many collectors, these pieces offered a personal connection to the Hollywood legend. The auction revealed much more than movie history. A gold-plated Winchester rifle Wayne had given to his friend Bob Shelton sold for $13,315, highlighting his generosity. His personal library reflected interests in history and military strategy, while an unexpected collection of seashells revealed a quieter side that many fans had never imagined. One of the most valuable pieces was a portrait of Wayne painted by artist John Decker, which sold for $71,700. The painting had been displayed in Wayne's home for years, showing how much he valued it. Family photographs, handwritten letters, and furniture from his house were also included, giving fans an unusually personal glimpse into his private life. Together, these belongings painted a picture of someone who was more than a movie icon. They showed Wayne as a father, a friend, and a man with strong personal connections beyond the spotlight. But in 1971, one interview with Playboy magazine would spark a controversy that people still debate today. In a 1971 interview with Playboy magazine, John Wayne made several statements that later drew widespread criticism. The most discussed was when he said, "I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility." At the time, Wayne was 63 and one of Hollywood's biggest stars. The interview quickly became one of the most controversial moments connected to his legacy. During the same interview, Wayne also commented on Native Americans, saying he believed taking their land was a matter of survival. He criticized the film Midnight Cowboy as well, using language that would later be widely viewed as offensive. Decades later, in February 2019, excerpts from the interview spread across social media after being shared on Twitter, bringing the remarks back into public debate. The renewed attention sparked strong reactions. A screenwriter publicly criticized Wayne, and the post went viral. Some people argued his comments should permanently shape how he is remembered, while others believed his legacy should be viewed in a broader historical context. The discussion grew into a larger conversation about the influence of public figures and the lasting impact of their words. The controversy soon extended beyond social media. It also renewed debate over places named after Wayne, including John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California. In 2020, during nationwide demonstrations following the killing of George Floyd, the local Democratic Party called for the airport to be renamed, arguing that Wayne's statements conflicted with the county's values of diversity and inclusion. The proposal reflected how much Orange County's political and cultural landscape had changed over the years. Some people believed keeping John Wayne's name on the airport sent the wrong message to minority communities. Others, including his son Ethan Wayne, strongly defended him. Ethan said his father was not racist and argued that people were judging his legacy unfairly. As of 2025, the airport still carries Wayne's name, but the debate continues, showing how difficult it can be to evaluate the legacy of a famous and controversial figure. The discussion also reached the University of Southern California, where Wayne had once been a student. In July 2020, USC removed an exhibit about him from its School of Cinematic Arts. The display, which had opened in 2012, featured movie posters and personal memorabilia celebrating one of the university's best-known alumni. After months of student and alumni protests, the university said removing the exhibit supported its goal of creating a more inclusive campus environment. The decision divided opinions. Some believed it was the right move, while others argued that removing the exhibit risked erasing an important part of history. That debate continues to raise a bigger question. Can someone's artistic achievements be separated from their personal beliefs? Supporters point to classic films like The Searchers and Rio Bravo as lasting contributions to cinema, while critics argue that Wayne's public statements and parts of his film legacy should also be part of how history remembers him. John Wayne remains one of Hollywood's most influential and debated stars, with a legacy that continues to spark conversations decades after his passing. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with fellow movie fans. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.